5th of February, Tuesday. Well, it looked like it was a turnaround Tuesday, but at the end of the day, they did pull back. And bottom line is it may have bottomed after 5 waves down. We'll see what happens. I'm going to show you some longs and shorts today. In front of you, you have AHCO, which after a big spike a year ago has gone sideways for a year, basically. Today was an exceptional, explosive day, though. Opening at 980, went to 1108, finished 1079, up the upper end of the range. The volume was 9 million. That's big volume for that stock. Now, we're going to have to get up and through, say, the recent highs up here in that 11.5, 3/4, 90 range. So we're not quite there yet, but keep an eye on this one because if it does get through like 1190, it could blow to 13, 14.50. And the next target would be somewhere around, let's see, I'm going to give you 15.5 and then the gap at 20. Yeah, 15.5 and maybe 20. We'll see what happens. Nope, sorry, 15.5 and 1785 are your targets. Moving on, ALAB is on the short side. We'll get to that a little later. BABX. Well, BABA's been phenomenal ever since they made a lot of AI announcements. It's gone from 14.29 as recently as January 13th, only 5 weeks ago, to 44, almost 45. So it more than tripled in 5 weeks, 4 weeks, and then pulled back hard yesterday. Today it had an inside day. It's going to have to get back above 39 with energy. If it does, targets are mid-40s, low 50s. On the downside, key support right now is right about the 33, 34 zone. CAPR. Well, you know, we've been following this for a long time and had a phenomenal swing in September, October, but after coiling, it broke down here and then spent 3-4 months basing out. Now, today was a kind of important day for it because it reversed from 1403 to 1628, right at where key resistance is, and backed off to finish 1552. Am I disappointed? A little, but the volume picked up to 1.9 million. I think that we should keep close tabs on this one because if it goes, it can explode into the low to mid 20s. The OMH, check this chart out. Spike low at 83 cents, December 30th. 83 cents to 1358. 15-fold increase in about 6 weeks. And now the orderly retrace. I like that look. What I want to do is pull this back here, show you what it could be, a bull wedge. If that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth wave could be huge. Now, I don't know if it's going to do that, but if we get to 14.5, you may want to get aggressive with it because it could fly. Low 20s is my first target. Low to mid 30s is my final fifth wave target. I'm not saying we get there. I'm saying that's potential. EVER. How about this breakaway gap coming out of a base of several months? Now there's resistance at the spike high from August. When it reached 28, that's your next target. Beyond that, 30. LE. Now LE came out of a 5-6 month declining channel today with a really good earnings report. I believe that was the trigger. Take a look at that beautiful orderly decline. Now there is resistance across here. We reached that today, or nearly reached it, and backed away a little bit. Net on the day up 189 to 17%. Buying was 695,000, sorry. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for this stock, that's the biggest volume in the year. So on a breakout day, keep an eye on this one for a move over 14, and then we're looking at 16, 17, maybe. In US, exploded a week ago and pulled back. Today it spiked again and went from 751 to 823, finished 819, up 54 cents. A 7% gain on 750,000 shares. Doesn't sound like a lot, but keep an eye on it because if that's the consolidation and the retest, and this is the breakout, then I'm looking for 9 and 10 for starters. And that's the long side. Let's look at some shorts. LAB, which I gave you, we reviewed this over the weekend. After coming down and having a rising wedge right to resistance, it fell apart. Bounced, today it broke down again. And this thing broke down to a point where I think if it gets below here, you're headed to 68 and maybe all the way down here at 60. Boot barn broke down hard and bounced to resistance and rolled over hard. This is a very negative looking chart, an engulfing bearish bar. I got a target down around 112.14. KAVA, head and shoulder, rollover, neckline break. That's all you got to know. Today's action was extremely negative. It did bounce. I don't think it gets back over 110.11. That's where I stopped the short, but I would be short the stock on this bounce for move eventually down in the high 80s and then high 70s. CRHW, perfect head and shoulder top or rounding top, breakdown, bear wedge. You don't need to be a genius to see this negative pattern, negative technicals. I put a tech trader swing on it. If this takes out 95, you're probably headed for a 92, 86 or less. EVR, long rising channel broken, top pattern broken, stock engulfing bullish, a bearish reversal bar today. I think we're headed for a quick test of 225.6, and then we may get down quickly to about 210. Those are my targets as of this point. FRPT Fresh Pet, after a long uptrend, crushed, bear wedge, crushed, and now consolidating. I think there's one more wave coming, and I think it comes down to in the low 90s. GCOS, biotech is extraordinaire, but getting crushed. You have to look at the neckline of this kind of a head and shoulder top. Breakdown was a big breakaway gap, barely a bounce, and then a lower low. I'm now looking for 109 and 100. Impinge, which has been one of my favorite shorts for weeks now, after it broke down from the months, I should say, broke down from the wedge, came down from another bear flag. I was pretty emphatic. I remember at 150 short it. It went down to 93, and it looks even lower to me, quite frankly. We may see 80. Roblox, after a massive up move, breakdown, wedge, and roll over. I think we're going to take a look at 48.50. And WFRD, Weatherford, broke down, bear wedge. We put a swing short on it. This has dropped from 109 down to 60, almost cut in half. Doesn't look like it's done yet. Next target, 58, 52. And that's it for today. A look at some longs and shorts at detectrader.com. Good night.